Hey, what is up, Nyack? While we wait for winter sports to start up very soon, we will be interviewing various Nyack athletes, so let's get into it. Ezra Seckin joined the wrestling team last year and is now the captain in his second year with the squad. He now joins us in studio. Ezra, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, where do you think the overall direction of this team is headed this season?
In previous years, many of our players were, thinking, wrestling as it's just wasn't their priority sport. But now, this year, previously it was 10 people on the team, and now we're going up to 30, even 40 people on the team. It's really remarkable, and what's really astonishing now this year is that a lot more people are starting to get more comfortable. They're starting to be more excited about wrestling, and that's always such a great thing. We're seeing the program, looking to see the program really expand in the next coming years.
Speaking of, expanding, what returner do you think from last year has made the most improvements going into this year?
That's a good question. So I definitely see Connor Bierfeld. We got Sam Zerlip. He didn't wrestle last year, but yeah, he's our All-American 170 pounder or 172 pounder. We got Eddie, our other captain, along with Sam. What's really cool to see is we got a lot of newcomers, people that are in their first year, freshmen, and I see a lot of talent, a lot of potential among them too.
I love to hear it. So now we're gonna move on to you real quick, if that's all right.
Sure.
What are your individual goals for this team?
My individual goals, this being my second year of wrestling, I think there's a lot more for me to improve on. I see myself, strictly speaking, in wrestling. I think what I'm trying to do is get a more powerful shot, just work on my moves better, moving through motions better, being more comfortable in my stance, really across the entire board, getting more comfortable in what I want to do. I think my mental game is there. It could always be better. Anything could always be better. That's my philosophy. Yeah. But as a captain, what I really want to prioritize this season is really facilitating growth among my team, really condensing my team together, making sure there aren't cliques, that everyone's really a family, because that's what we are. We really are a family. Wrestling pushes each other, all of us to really go into comfortable positions and uncomfortable performances. Having a family is really a necessary part of wrestling. Really making a family and also growing the program to be more welcoming to outside people and for people to want to follow wrestling. I think that's another goal of mine.
What's one thing about the team that you wouldn't know if you weren't a part of the team?
So, a lot of people, most of the people that aren't on the team or aren't familiar with wrestling, they see wrestling, it's a tough sport, it's a weird sport, there's a lot of contact, and I was among them before starting wrestling. Wrestling is it's also kind of hard to follow if you don't really understand wrestling. But my philosophy, from the start, and also while I was recruiting new players, new wrestlers, we don't play around in wrestling, new wrestlers this year, is that wrestling is more of a metaphor for life, right? You can't stop in the middle of a wrestling match. You can't stop in the middle of life. You're always getting better. You got to outwork your opponent. You can't just settle on one performance. It's a tough sport, it really is. Essentially, you're fighting in a school sport. Of course, always welcoming to sort of try and understand the sport. It's a very entertaining sport if you understand how to watch it, but also feel welcome to join. I mean, if anyone wants, if it's not wrestling, any combat sport, boxing, MMA, combat sports really, I think, push a person to their physical best, I think.
It might be a big ask, but could you give us one exclusive quote of the day here?
Hear me out, all right? I think this one applies everywhere. Life is 10% what happens to you, but it's 90% how you react to what happens to you. That was a quote borrowed from our esteemed Mr. Joe Sigillo of Nyack Athletics. And what do I mean by that? Right, so in life, so many good things and bad things happen to us, whether it's a sickness in the family, whether, we lose a wrestling match, whether we lose money, whether we lose a job, whether we don't get such a great grade on our tests, whether we lose a game, all this kind of stuff. Bad things happen all the time. And we're always tested, all right? But whatever happens to you is really only a minuscule part of your future, part of your destiny, right? It is that 90% that decides how you're going to expand, how you're going to get better, how you're going to become a better person in the future, right? You are always looking to get better. we oftentimes blame other people, we blame other things. But I think it's important now we sort of reflect upon ourselves, see what can we do to get better? What can we do to respond to this better? What can we do to become better people, become better wrestlers, become better players, become better teammates, become better people?
You guys heard it here first. Amazing quote. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Lucas Berg.
On your first match today, I understand.
Yep, that's true. Come, what is it today?
Thursday.
December 1st, 2022. You guys are seeing this late, but today is our first Nike wrestling match. Tune in to the Nike Wrestling Instagram page to see our upcoming matches. And that's all for me.
Thank you so much for being here. Good luck at the match today. Let's go Redhawks, and you want to stay with me?
Please, it'd be my honor.
Remember, stay Redhawk Toughie!